On our trip to the Northeast with Paul and I, we saw Niagara Falls, Lynn, Massachusetts, Salem, Massachusetts, Little Italy and Boston, and more.
Here we are off on another adventure. Heading down Highway 60. We've seen this a lot of times, and the other thing we've always seen is Brenda behind the wheel. We're heading to Boston. So we'll be kind of filming this as we go along.
Through the hills of the Ozarks. We're out of the Ozark Hills of Missouri, and now we're into the farmland of the Boot Hill, crossing the Mississippi. We're in Indiana. Is it on video? Good morning. Last night we stayed at the Cracker Barrel, and where are we?
Plainfield, Indiana.
Plainfield. Wait. Did you want me to do it again?
Yeah.
We're here at the Cracker Barrel this morning. Wait a minute. Let me get my shots together. Okay. Good morning. Last night we stayed at the Cracker Barrel here, just right outside Indianapolis, Indiana. We're going to go into Indianapolis today, and
Well, good morning. We're at the Cracker Barrel, just outside of Indianapolis, Indiana. 54 years ago, I was stationed at Fort Benjamin Harrison, Indiana, and Derek was born here. And we're going to take a ride over to the park now. The fort's been closed, but there's a park there, and actually try to see if we can find the place that Brenda and I used to live. So we're on this adventure. This is the area we stayed in last night. Like we said, right outside of Indianapolis, which is good news. Of course, we also picked a Cracker Barrel right under the flight area for the local airport, and planes were landing all night long. But it was a nice area. We got some sleep. Okay, the Fort Benjamin Harrison is closed, but this was the theater at the fort. It's still there. These are still some of the buildings that were part of the fort. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is still headquartered here. I can't be absolutely positive, but I think these were some of the officers' quarters. This building here used to be the finance center. When I was traveling with the honor guard, I used to come here, go in that door, and cash in my per diem statement and get my money. This is the Military Veterans Hall of Fame. Okay, this is the Fort Harrison Inn. These used to be, I'm not sure. This could have been barracks or one of the offices. It looks to me like we've got a lot of the older buildings from the fort and then some newer ones kind of built in the same style. Now this looks to me like it was here.
There is a pretty golf course on the right, and we're coming into Harrison State Park.
Okay, looks like the state park was established in 1996. Brenda and I were here in 1968, I think from about March to November.
This is where the wooden barracks used to be. That was also a guest house when 53 years ago we stayed in the wooden barracks, and Derek, our oldest son, was born here in the hospital. So we're gonna go on and try and find the hospital.
Okay, this is Ivy Tech Community College, but in 1968, when I was stationed here, this was the United States Army Adjutant General School. Okay, we saw the school, and we saw where it used to be the guest house, but now this is where the barracks. These are the barracks over here. Looks like they're all, well, no, a little further up. Yeah, right in here. Those were the barracks. We're on Lee Road. The hospital where Derek was born should be down here on the right, or at least where it was. Well, I don't know if it's there still. It doesn't look like it. Well, my goodness. It looks like a park. Now, this is right about where the hospital was. So now it looks like it's Lee Road Park. We're going to pull into it. This was the old barracks. Now it looks like they're been fixed up. Yep, this was where the old barracks were. We're paralleling the barracks. We're going to get out of the stop sign, and this is the back end of the school. Only the school, this was the personnel center. I had an office in here after school, and I was stationed here. And actually, I was in charge of special assignments from the Pentagon until I went to Vietnam. Okay, this is South Gladstone. We think this is where we used to live. We think this could be it. Could be any one of these houses. We can't remember exactly. We're looking to see. There was an apartment in the back that we stayed at. With one of these houses.
We think that this might be the house that we lived in when Paul was at Fort Benning. We're just not sure now. Everything's changed. That was 54 years ago. Now we're going on to spend the night in Ohio. We got in late tonight, and this is what we're having for dinner because we didn't get to stop and get anything to eat. Maybe we'll stop in the morning for breakfast.
Well, last night we stayed at a little one-night RV park in West Salem, Ohio. We're on 71 heading north towards Niagara Falls. We're going to take a look at that for a little bit. Had a good trip so far.
We're at Niagara Falls. Paul and I decided to go to Rochester, New York to see Lake Ontario. When we got there, it was raining pretty hard, so we decided to not get out and went on to Massachusetts.
I'm gonna try something that usually doesn't.
Still in Massachusetts, heading for Vermont and New Hampshire.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay. Still in Massachusetts, getting close to Vermont.
0.8 of a mile, 202 north to Dunkin' Donuts.
We found Dunkin' Donuts and we're almost starving.
We're in Irving, Massachusetts. Hi. I guess up here, make a left and come back.
We found Dunkin' Donuts, now on to Vermont. This is Heidelberg, Vermont. We're going into the outfitters. We heard about a maple farm about 5 miles away. It's the Robb family sugar house. You can take a tour of the farm and see how the maple is harvested, but we just got maple syrup in the gift shop, a candle and candy. The family lives on the property. We enjoyed our time there. Now we're off to New Hampshire. Found a lot of turkeys on the side of the road. They don't seem to be too concerned.
God.
Colors are coming out on the trees now. We're trying to get to Brookline to get something to eat and then go to the campground, but this road seems to go on forever. We're not sure exactly where we are, but we're following the GPS.
This Listening for banjos.
Listening for banjos. We are in Brookline, New Hampshire. We're staying in a campground here. But right now we're going to eat at the Chrysanthus restaurant. I think we're in Peabody, Massachusetts, heading towards Salem. This is the Old Town Hall. It was used in several movies, but one of them is Hocus Pocus. It was built in 1816, alleged to be haunted, and is still being used as a public hall today. We are looking for the Witch Trial Memorial.
Witch Trials Memorial Street.
The witch trials were in 1692 to 93, and there were 200 accused of practicing witchcraft. 20 were executed. Now we're on our way to find the Ropes Mansion. It was Allison's house in Hocus Pocus. It was built in 1727. This is the Ropes Mansion. They do tours of the mansion once a week. We are in a residential area of Salem with these beautiful homes. Now we're off to Boston. In Boston, we met up with our grandson. We also saw Paul's brothers, nieces, cousins. It was a family reunion. On the street, we ran into Benjamin Franklin. That was fun. The best tours in Boston is the Freedom Trail. It is 2.5 miles long and it brings history alive. The USS Constitution is at the end of the Freedom Trail. The ship was launched in 1797. It was in the War of 1812. The cannonballs couldn't sink Old Ironsides. The Boston skyline, very nice. We wandered over to a section of town called Little Italy. Had lunch there, it was very good and I love the atmosphere. Today we're in Plymouth, a coastal town in Massachusetts, south of Boston. It is the site of the first Pilgrim settlement founded in 1620. Plymouth Rock, a boulder, and Plymouth Memorial State Park marks the place where settlers are thought to have landed on shore. Then we're off to meet up with friends in Cape Cod. We're going through Lynn, Massachusetts. Paul had an aunt who lived here, and his dad would take them all swimming here in the summer.
We got a half a mile to where he used to live. This could be it. This could be it. These old houses over here, we had friends that can remember. Oh my gosh, this could be it. Different house or rebuilt. That's it right there. That is it. Oh my gosh.
This is another house here now, but this is where Paul grew up. Some of the old houses are still around.
This is the same house.
This is the same house?
Yeah, but we owned that property next to it. Wintertime, and as you can see, it was still a busy road then as there is now. But we slid down here. We had to have people waiting down here to make sure we didn't get a car.
They used to walk here to the corner grocery.
We used to call it the reservoir. Forgot all about, I knew about it, but I forgot it was right here.
We pulled off in a small town in Connecticut, and we found where Mystic Pizza, a movie made in 1988, was filmed. Another quick overnight stop at the Cracker Barrel, and got up in the morning to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania. We can't stay very long in Hershey this time, but we wanted to go through, see what it was about, and go to the gift shop before we head on. Gettysburg battlefield is about an hour from Hershey.
Apple
orchard, and got some apple donuts and some homemade apple butter. The donuts are like an apple cinnamon, really good.
Mountain Park.
There's a river over there, or a stream over there. We're on 77 heading home.
Or are we?
We think.
So this might be another thing off our bucket list that we didn't know about. Cacatan National Forest, I think.
Welcome Center in Maryland has a path up the mountain. If you're into hiking, that would be a good hike.